So you saw the title, and I'm sure you're like, what the heck? What on earth does this mean? Before we get into it, I want to just define exactly who this video is for so that you're not wasting your time. This video is for those who are not content with the type of life that society is telling them to live, and the type of life that they're telling them how to live. This is for those people who do not want to feel confined, who are motivated by freedom, and who want to really build a life that is worth living in their eyes. You want the most out of life. You do not want to conform to what everyone else is doing. You have this desire to pursue something that is greater than yourself. This video is for you. And if it's not, I suggest you click off now so you're not wasting your time. And yeah, let's get into it. I wanted to sit down today and talk about stimulation, more specifically being intentional with stimulation. To illustrate this concept and this point, I am not going to edit this video at all. It's going to be incredibly boring, incredibly unstimulating, and that is the point. If you want a challenge, try watching this whole thing on normal speed while doing nothing else, just focusing on this video. It will be hard, it will suck, but you will learn exactly what I'm going to try to explain to you, and you're going to feel it in your brain. You're going to feel it, and you're going to understand exactly like how impactful this is. If you're confused, I'll explain it. That's the point of this video. But just stay engaged, stay focused, all right? Don't let the boredom get the best of you. Don't give in to other distractions. Don't go on your phone. Just watch this video straight through to the end, all right? And the goal here is to help you see exactly what stimulation does to you, what you can do about it, and how you can use this idea to your advantage to become addicted to progressing in the real life. There is a way that you can become addicted to doing productive things. Those things that right now that are going through your head that feel boring, probably like reading, learning, having deep, meaningful conversations with other people, sitting and writing and thinking and not doing anything, being bored. All these things that are really unstimulating and suck, and that you honestly probably try to avoid if you're being honest with yourself. There's a way that you can become addicted to these things and fill up your day and feel fulfilled in doing these things and just progress like you have never progressed before. Because listen, the type of person that I described at the start of this video, if you're still here, that is you. You have some sort of desire to live a different type of life than everyone else is telling you to live. And in order to do that, you need to do things that no one else does. All right, you need to be focused. You need to be able to sit down and do things for an extended period of time that are not stimulating, that everyone else sees is boring. All right, that are high value and that are difficult and that are uncomfortable. You need to be able to do these things. So you might as well be addicted to it, right? And, just for some credibility, this is where I'm at right now. After years of exploring and messing around with dopamine and stimulation and being intentional with a whole bunch of different things that I'm going to explain, I can say I am addicted to doing productive things. And I love it, and I'm progressing like I never have before. It feels like my life is a video game, right? If you're addicted to video games, I'm sure it sounds great to be addicted to the video game of life and progress in real life. All right. So this is all what I'm going to try to explain to you. Again, stay focused. Don't give in to distractions. And let's see where this goes. All right. So I talk a lot about your dopamine system on this channel. Why? Because it is incredibly impactful, probably more impactful than you might think. Right, so the way it works is that our dopamine system is there to reinforce positive behavior, right? So when we eat sugar, our dopamine spikes because our body runs off of sugar for energy. So what it does is it makes you feel pleasurable. It makes this action pleasurable, so you want to keep doing it, so that it enforces survival. Same with novelty, new information. Same with socializing and and reproduction. All these things that promote survival of humans. Our dopamine system, that's what it does. Reinforces positive behaviors. But unfortunately, what people have realized is that we can manipulate it and take advantage of our dopamine system in a way that turns a profit, right? If you think of social media apps, they profit the longer you stay on their platform. And what these tech companies do is they take advantage of our desire for novelty, our desire for being social, and affirmation. You think of likes, you think of comments, you think of scrolling. You're constantly bombarded with new information, and your brain likes that. That's why it's so nice to scroll. That's why it's so pleasurable to scroll. And these big companies have taken advantage of our dopamine systems, and unfortunately it has gotten to a point where something like scrolling is so incredibly stimulating that almost nothing else naturally is as stimulating. And the way a dopamine system works is that it keeps spiking, you keep seeking a bigger hit, and it raises your baseline. So that, say, like reading a book is all the way down here, and you're scrolling on TikTok for 2 hours and you're up here, there's no way in hell you are going to want to read a book when your dopamine system is this high and it's seeking something greater. So what do? You keep scrolling. I'm sure you find that you scroll faster and faster and faster the more you're on it, because you're seeking a bigger hit. And this is detrimental to your productivity, to your focus, to this life that you want to live, because you cannot build this life that you want to live while being distracted 24/7. That's what this is. This is a distraction. You ever come off of scrolling through Instagram Reels for 3 hours and being like, yeah, that was mega productive, I'm really proud of myself, I really feel this sense of progress and that I'm closer to my goals? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. So we need to eliminate this. We need to eliminate this in our lives. But I'm sure you found that it's incredibly hard. I'm sure this thought is not new to you, that you want to stop scrolling, you want to stop engaging in porn, you want to stop being addicted to video games, you want to stop all these things, because you already realize it. You already realize it's a distraction, and that it's inhibiting your ability to progress towards what you want to achieve. You know that reading a book is good for you. You know that working out and having good conversations and writing and working on a business and doing things that are not very stimulating, you know that these things are good for you. But the problem is it is so incredibly difficult nowadays to, one, feel motivated to do that, two, be disciplined to do that, three, have enough focus and energy to even do it in the first place. And I think most of it is all linked to your dopamine system, that if you can reset your dopamine system, that you will start finding these productive things stimulating, and you will start being motivated and passionate about these things. So it all comes down to being intentional. I was having a conversation with a friend last night, and it was all about intentionality, and that, I cannot describe how important being intentional is with literally everything. I found that if you want this type of life that I described at the start, if you want to be that kind of father, that husband, that man, or that woman, that wife, if you want to be this high level person living this total life of freedom, that you need to be intentional about literally everything. All right? And it's really, really hard at first, because you have to break out of that loop of constant stimulation. You're going to feel bored. I really encourage trying the dopamine detox. Delete all social media, stop playing video games, cut out sugar, do this for a week, and reset your dopamine and be bored. It will be painful. All right? This is painful. It's hard. That's why I said at the start of this video, this is not for the weak, because it's horribly hard. And you have to become incredibly disciplined to not engage with distractions after breaking this loop. It's very, very hard. I've had many, many seasons in my life where it's like I'm progressing like crazy, avoiding distractions, and then it can be a slippery slope, and now I'm at the bottom. It's constant ebbs and flows, but we want to get you to a point where at least you have this knowledge, you know what to do. Now it's up to you. No one else can take action for you. It's up to you. So my intention with this video is at least give you the knowledge, because once I realized all this stuff about dopamine systems and like everything that affects it, and the way it like changes your brain and makes you motivated to do things that you don't want to do and unmotivated to do things that you do want to do. Once I realized all this, once I had this knowledge, there is no going back. It's like you see the light, and you just can't go back. So that's my intention with this video, is that, listen, sugar, video games, porn, social media, all these things like destroy your dopamine system. Sugar, like, you ever see like obese people? They're like, all these whole foods, they say they don't like the taste of it. It's so bland, it's flavorless. Why is that? Because their brain is so accustomed to so much sugar that anything less is just, it's unstimulating. It's terrible. It tastes nasty, so all they want to do is continuing to eat all these sugarous foods. Once I went on a keto diet, and I'm not even kidding, after a very short amount of time, like cutting out all sugar, having something as simple as like a bagel is physically mind-blowing. It's so tasty. Like it tastes incredible. That's what like resetting your dopamine does. That's what starving yourself of stimulation of sugar, for in this example, does. It starts to, and I also started to love like just plain food, plain whole food. Like eggs with salt and pepper is just incredible. I have it every single day and I love it. Why? Because I don't engage with all these sugarous stuff so much that my brain is just overloaded with like pleasure, and all I want to do is just continue to eat all this crap. That's not what I do. I'm incredibly intentional with what I eat, and I eat whole foods, and they taste amazing because I'm intentional about it. And listen, that might kind of seem insignificant, but you know what a diet does for you? It gets rid of your brain fog. Like when you eat good whole foods, it gets rid of your brain fog. Like, I've been at a low body fat percentage ever since I started being intentional with my diet. I feel incredible all the time. I'm energetic. Like, I never take naps. I just feel incredible. I'm getting a ton of protein. Like, it tastes amazing. I feel amazing. I stopped getting headaches. Like, I have energy to focus, and I have focus. Like again, it's so important, and I don't think people realize it. Another thing, video games, especially for guys, dude, this is a huge thing, because as men, we are driven by progress. We are driven by building and conquering and taking dominion, and working. And what video games does is it distorts these desires of ours, and it basically speeds up the process, and makes us feel like we are making progress, to the point where like you're satisfied with making progress in a video game, and then you come off and it's like you don't really want to make progress in the real world, because it's so stimulating. They imitate this building aspect and conquering that we should be doing in the real world, and artificially make you feel like you're engaging in that, like you're doing that, but it's all virtual, and it doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter, because that does not do anything for you in the real world. And again, that's because you're engaging in that's inhibiting your ability to engage in that in the real world. I used to play Fortnite like crazy. That's all I did. But once I started pursuing something higher than that, something that's like meaningful, my desire to play video games just dissolved. Like, I don't play video games at all, like ever anymore, because I don't need to feel that sense of progress virtually when I'm doing it in real life. Like, there's just no point. So, you know, when you're intentional with all these things, social media, honestly, you just got to delete it. You just got to get it out of your life, all right? I don't care if that's how people communicate, and like I have a lot of friends on Snapchat, or like, I want to keep up with these people's content. You have to understand, would you rather live the type of life that you really want to live, or keep up with these people, or see or watch the people who have already made it and are where you want to be? Do you really want to sacrifice this life that you want to build for you and your future family, or your family now, to this useless crap? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't think you really do. So you just got to starve yourself of these highly stimulating things that just don't do anything for you except ruin your life, except ruin your dopamine system, ruin your desire to do anything productive, anything worthwhile, and just make you so unmotivated to take any progress towards your goals that all you do is engage more and more and escape your reality. So this is what being intentional with stimulation does for you. Again, when you start pursuing something that is higher than yourself, something that is meaningful and worth your time, no matter how difficult, again, it's going to be incredibly difficult at the start, and it sucks. Doing this sucks, especially in this world, because there's so many distractions. Everything is trying to take your attention and make you weak. Like, everything is. Again, that's why being intentional is so important. But it's so hard, but it's so worth it. And I think if you take this advice with doing a dopamine detox and start being intentional with pursuing these harder things, just do it when you're bored. Be bored. Seriously, just sit down and think and do nothing. All right? I think one of people's biggest problems is that they don't think anymore. Anytime you're the slightest bored, you pull out your phone, like, and scroll on Instagram. That was me as well. Like, that's what people do. Whenever things get hard, people feel uncomfortable thinking. I don't know why. Like, maybe it's because they're not content with their life, and they start thinking about all these things that they hate about their life or they hate about themselves, so it's uncomfortable, so they want to escape that and drown it out with stimulation. But people don't think anymore, and that is causing them to miss out on becoming the person that they are meant to be and living the type of life that they are meant to be. And I don't think you want to become that person. All right, so be bored, dude. Starve this stimulation. Do a dopamine detox. Get off of social media. Stop looking at porn. Start pursuing something that you actually want to pursue, no matter how hard it is. It's hard. It's supposed to be hard. It's uncomfortable. It sucks, but it gets better. And after you can get through this first phase of just total suck and boredom, you start finding pleasure in the things you're supposed to find pleasure in, because your dopamine resets. I love writing. I love talking to people about deep, meaningful things. I love being off my phone. I love looking around and being outside and having great experiences in real life. I love progressing. I love making videos. I love, thinking and talking, and like, I love all these things. And the only reason why I love it is because I've gotten to this point where I'm so intentional about everything that I find pleasure in these things, because I don't overstimulate my brain to the point of absolute disintegration. Like, I don't even know how to describe that. Like, just total destruction. That's what these things are doing for you. So yeah, I think that's it. I mean, if you made it through this whole video, what is this? It's like 19 minutes. That's crazy. At this point, you probably feel bored. Your dopamine system has definitely gone down, and props to you. I'm sure this was not easy. I'm sure it was actually difficult. But now what you're going to find is going out of this video, you're going to feel a little bit more motivated to do something that is meaningful, that is less stimulating, because your dopamine system has gone down. All right, so you're not seeking a bigger hit up here. Your dopamine system is down. So now you will find pleasure in things that you should find pleasure in. All right, so go do that. Don't click another video. I don't care if it's mine. Don't just get off of whatever you're watching this on and go pursue something. Go do something real. Go progress. Go do something that is meaningful with your life. All right, be intentional with your stimulation. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next one.